Hello and welcome to Moneylife News and Views. I'm Debashis Basu. Investors who lost heavily in DHFL had thought that Kapil and Dheeraj Wadhwan, promoters of the failed finance company DHFL, were being held in Taloja jail. It transpires that for the past 15 months, they have been cozily ensconced in a hospital, 9 months of which in Dhirubhai Ambani, Kokilaben Dhirubhai Ambani Hospital, under the pretext of a minor ailment such as sleep disorder. The other ones were jailed under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act for running a criminal operation of cheating, of creating thousands and thousands of fake accounts and fake loans, which are called the infamous Bandra books, and causing a loss of over 40,000 crores. But they could easily game the system and be in a hospital even for a crime like this. This isn't the first time they have pulled this off. 2 years ago, in April 2020, during the strict lockdown ordered due to the coronavirus pandemic, 23 members of the Wadhawan family were given permission to flout restrictions and drive from Mumbai to Mahabaleshwar, a hill station, just chill. The CBI had said they were absconding at that time. How did they drive through sealed areas across Maharashtra when tens of thousands and lakhs of migrant workers were literally starving? The Principal Secretary Special Home Department, Amitav Gupta, had issued a letter in his own letterhead allowing them to do so. When the news came out, Anil Deshmukh, the State Home Minister, ordered an inquiry and promised stringent action against Gupta, who claimed to have acted on humanitarian grounds. What was a strict action? He was let off in the inquiry and 5 months later promoted as the Pune police chief. Perhaps a reward is also due to everybody handling the Wadhawan case for allowing them to remain in the hospital for 15 months. In another case, Ravi Parthasarathy, the former chairman of an even bigger scam, the infrastructure leasing and financial services, remains free. IL&FS had imploded with a debt of massive 100,000 crore. He was arrested, but only because the Tamil Nadu police acted on a complaint by a private party. However, he got bail, unlike some of the members of his cabal of executives who helped Parthasarathy control IL&FS for over 25 years and run that business to the ground. His colleagues are in jail for years now. Parthasarathy is free, presumably because scores of officers of the hallowed Indian Administrative Services who have benefited from their association with IL&FS are returning the favor that they got. A few weeks ago, the CBI arrested the former managing director of the National Stock Exchange and a close friend, the former group operating officer of NSE, Anand Subramanian. If CBI is seriously interested in probing the algo scam at NSE, the true beneficiaries and those who facilitated the scam and derailed a proper investigation have to be made accountable. They are in NSE, they're probably in SEBI. Like in DHFL and IL&FS, will the big fish of the NSE scam also be treated with kid gloves? The fourth example I have is of continued inefficiency and corruption in public sector banks. Data available from the bankruptcy resolution process show how badly PSBs are run. Of the cases admitted for resolution, nearly 1/3 have gone into liquidation with a recovery rate of just 5%. Excluding the top 15 cases by resolution value, the recovery rate is just 18%. Over 90% of write-offs of bad loans happen in PSBs, that is government-owned banks. This points to an issue that nobody wants to act against: corruption in PSBs, which is cutely referred to as poor due diligence of loans. An average person cannot borrow even 1 rupee from a bank without first securing the bank's interests. How could thousands of companies manage to do it? At the time of lending, of course, bankers don't know whether a business will succeed or fail, or whether the borrower is honest or crooked. So they demand adequate collateral and personal guarantee to secure the interests of the bank before giving the loan. When the interest and principal repayments are delayed, they follow due process and liquidate the collateral and also demand that borrowers make good the money personally, which the personal guarantee requires them to do. This is routinely done for small borrowers. So how is the recovery of so many cases as low as 5%? And in some infamous cases, just 1 to 2%. The single biggest reason for bad loans is obvious. The corrupt banker businessman nexus, sometimes with the politicians pulling the strings. But hardly any banker or any politician has been put behind bars for this. In 2014, before the BJP government came to power, in speech after election speech, Mr. Narendra Modi colorfully painted the previous regime as corrupt. The Prime Minister promised to act as a Chowkidar to reduce corruption and bring in good governance. Is the slogan working? Not quite. It's perhaps because he focused on the wrong metaphor. Prevention of corruption, which is being a Chowkidar, is possible only by instituting a merit-based system that rewards efficiency and honesty and penalizes dishonesty. This is an extremely difficult and long-drawn process to do across the board. I'm not sure if PM Modi can ever act as a Chowkidar, even if he wants to. But he can surely act as a Thanedar by ensuring fast resolution of corruption cases once they come to light. Exemplary action is easier and will burnish his anti-corruption image. Scams, misconduct, and misdemeanours happen regularly because the price of getting caught is insignificant. Yet, we don't focus on measures such as penalties, fines, disgorgement, exemplary damages, and personal accountability. Surprisingly, it's the same across the world, even though crime does not pay and making them paid are common expressions. As philosopher Nassim Taleb says, while economic literature focuses on incentives as encouragement, which we call carrots, it does not focus enough on disincentives or penalties, which are sticks, that should eliminate from the system incompetent and nefarious actors who inflict harm. This disincentive is fashionably called skin in the game now. You can have as many Chowkidars as you want, but only if you have Thanedars, not the Taloja jail variety though, who can make an example of scamsters and their accomplices, will there be real deterrence? Will PM Modi move towards a system of making them pay? That will actually tell us whether he's really serious about addressing the huge corruption issue. Thanks for watching. And if you like this, please subscribe to the channel so that YouTube knows that we have good content. Thank you so much.